Hey, what is up, YouTube? It is Toy Adventures here again with a quite unique video. This has been a highly requested video, and I finally have gotten around to making one. Guys, today we're going to be doing a custom vehicle tutorial, and I'm going to be using this Adventure Force Jeep Overlander I found at Walmart. It's pretty cheap, coming around $14, and you can find it at most Walmarts. Some Walmarts have it, some don't. But if you guys are lucky enough to find it, you'll notice it's a really cool looking, outdoorsy looking Jeep. It has a nice little light gimmick right here. Kind of, I wish the lights would have lightened up instead of this random little light bar on the side. But it is what it is. It is a nice little Jeep vehicle. It's based on the Jeep Overlander. You get a little tiny dude. Obviously, we don't need him. Cast him aside because we're going to have this customized to fit Mattel figures. You could tell it kind of is in it actually is the right scale, but the way it's built, it's going to have issues with fitting Mattel figures. Just going and showing you guys all the little random gimmicks. It has, soft tires, the tent opens up, and you come with a little dude. The ladder can be put in multiple spots. It's just a really cool little toy with a ton of gimmicks. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get this tutorial underway, and starting by opening this box very calmly. Let's just go ahead and get the Jeep out of the box. All right, we have our Jeep unboxed, and well, the first step is, of course, examining your vehicle. You need to know how it disassembles, how it is constructed, whether it's tabs like on this vehicle, or with majority vehicles I use, it's actually screws in the bottom. And I just gotta remove these little rubber band things so you can fully get access to the vehicle. And what you wanna kinda do is, while you're looking, examine the vehicle, notice all the little gimmicks and what you can pull off and pull apart. Right now, I'm just kind of getting acquainted with the vehicle. You can see the tent opens up. You even got a little bed in there. A nice side panel opens up. You got details that I'm going to be painting in. And even this back section opens up with a nice little ladder. Really cool. Lots of gimmicks. And as you can see, this vehicle particularly is constructed with tabs. Tabs are kind of a pain in the butt because they're really tough to undo. You really have to kind of damage the vehicle to get them undone. Whereas with screws, obviously you would just unscrew them. So right now, I'm just getting accustomed with where all the tabs are, what I'm going to have to undo, and just preparing to take it apart. Normally, I'd be able to use screws, but not here. The doors are one of the first things I usually try and take off. These ones look like they're going to be pretty easy to take off. They're just kind of snapped on. That whole back section just comes off really easily. Very nice. You can see the sound features all in there. And well, this part isn't really being painted. The top canopy section will be, but this kind of overhead section, the silver part with the black canopy, will not be, but this bed section up here will be. We'll be removing all these stickers, just getting it ready to look like a cool camo jungle Isla Sorna type vehicle. As you can see, we have a little human guy right here, and no go. You can see the car is relatively in the right size, but there's no leg room. The spot where the feet go is incredibly shallow, so Ian can't sit down. We're gonna have to get in there and tear open spots for his legs. It's kind of brutal, but that's how we're gonna get this to fit Mattel figures. This is a pretty cool vehicle. I can't wait to get this taken apart. You can see it's even got translucent headlights. Those obviously we can be able to take out so they don't get any paint on them. And yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing taken apart. For this step, I would suggest using these flathead screwdrivers. Funny enough, you're going to use the screwdriver if it has screws, whatever vehicle you're doing it with. But since this one doesn't, I'm going to be using this just to pry open the, tabs. Obviously, we're going to pull up the doors first, just because they're easy. Whatever you can take off of your vehicle first, that comes off relatively easily without needing any tools or breaking anything, is what you're going to want to take off first, just to get out of the way. These tires look like they come off pretty easily as well. And, well, we just start prying these open. You want to get these tabs undone. They're kind of challenging. You want to unhinge the red part from the black, because the red is, of course, the top half that we are trying to get pried from the bottom half so we can get painting. It's pretty tough, so just get ready to really finagle with it for a while. Take your time, don't break it, and just trust the process. All right, we have it disassembled from the bottom half, and we are nearly ready to start painting, but we got these stickers on there, and, well, I kind of want to get rid of these stickers. Don't worry about these stress marks in the plastic. Obviously, we're painting over it, so those will be hidden. Some of these vehicles have pretty cool stickers, and some of them are pretty damn lame. Whether you're going to want to keep them is up to you. Right now, I'm just delicately removing these. I don't want to tear them. A, because I may want to put them on later, but mainly B, because I don't want to leave residue on the vehicle. When you tear stickers and it leaves those white papery bits. That's the worst, but I'll show you guys how to remove that as well, because I will have to remove residue. If there's stickers, there's residue, and you're going to want to remove it, otherwise it'll make the paint look uneven, or even just look weird in general. So we definitely want to get rid of any of the sticky adhesive residue. Once you have them all off, then you can start working with like the windshield and the front headlights. Not all vehicles will have these translucent bits. Some will just have them painted. Some will just have them not at all. Whatever your situation is, if you're using the same vehicle I am, you just want to pop them out, because you obviously don't want them getting covered by paint. And if you can remove it. That just makes the painting process so much easier, and you get so much of a cleaner final product. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove these Jeep stickers gently, because I'm probably going to want to put them on later. I did not show it, but I gave the truck a nice soapy water bath. That helps the paint stick on better. I didn't show it again, but you guys are going to want to wash whatever you're doing with soap and water. I'm going to put on this color. This is the color I actually usually use for all my engine trucks. You can find it at Lowe's, but I do switch the color up because it's not actually accurate for what I was originally going for. But for those of you that wanted to know how I do my engine trucks, this is really simple. Just spray it on. It usually goes on in one good coat. As long as you coat the whole thing, you may need a second, but that's really all you'll need. It's super easy. Just make sure you're getting each and every angle. Don't hold it too close, and don't hold it in one location for too long or the paint will look globby. The cool thing about spray paint is it gets a nice even coat when you do it right. So stay at least 6 inches away and do a nice fanning motion, and don't stay on one location too long. Like I said, you don't want this to look globby, otherwise it'll really ruin the final look. Also, sorry about the movement and the camera. My tripod did not reach up to where I was actually painting, so I had to hold the camera and spray at the same time. That's why the footage is so rough. Sorry about that, guys. Next up is the doors and the back hatch. We're just going to put these on crocodile clips. If you guys don't already have these, I highly suggest getting them. They're really useful for painting things and holding them without them touching the ground and obviously getting the paint ruined. Now that we're done with that, we're going to move on to getting this thing situated to hold Mattel figures. Now, as you can see, it is pretty much just a big plastic wall. We're going to need to remove a lot of this plastic to situate the character's legs, but as you can also see, their tabs are right there in the middle, so we're going to have to cut out the sides. As you can see, I'm doing it, trying it out, cutting some more, cutting away more plastic. I had to cut away pretty much the entire bottom little wall section of plastic just to get the feet to fit in there. It was pretty arduous, but I ended up getting it to fit fine. So, as stated before, here is the color switch I did. As you can see, it is nighttime outside, and I'm going to hit it first with a super clear coat. This is my matte sealer. I've used it on Gundam before, and Gundams are the ultimate test of sealer because they have such fine detail and they require such a perfect coat, and this really provides that. I've noticed a lot of other sealers leave splotchy coats or are, labeled matte but aren't actually matte. Anyway, it's time to disassemble the camper part. As you can see, this part is going to be easy. It's just screws. All you're going to need for this part really is just a screwdriver. All right, we've disassembled it to the absolute point where we can't disassemble it anymore. Each of these parts is going to be individually painted. I'm actually not going to paint the bed, but this little tent section, definitely getting painted. And this electric box section, nah, I like the colors. That's going to stay the same. We're actually going to use the same dark green that we used originally. I think it fits for the tent section. We're just going to spray these bits down and get an even coat. As you can see, even for these detailed sections, it looks pretty evenly put on. I wouldn't suggest this for fine details, but for most of these 1/118 scale toys, using Lowe's spray paint is just fine. After you're done with that, we're going to move back onto the actual chassis of the vehicle, and we're going to start the camo process. Here is the paint I'm using. Now, I didn't really thin my paint that well. I used this right here. This is Tester's paint thinner. I'm really not a pro at this, guys. Usually I just do solid colors, but I thought I'd try something a little daring and ballsy for this video. So I'm going to be trying to mimic the Lost World Mercedes type camo. So we're just going to put on our first coat of the, seafoam green. There's three main colors. It's the seafoam green, the black, and then, on the toy, it's orange, but on the actual vehicle, it's an orangey brown. And I went for more of the brown. You guys will see that in a bit, but for now, we're just going to put on little camo splotches around the vehicle. It didn't come out as flat as I would have hoped. Like I said, I'm still pretty newbie at actually brush painting things, but it's a learning experience. You guys are here to watch me learn, and here it is. I think the color matching is pretty dead on. Now it's time for the black. Now we have the black mixed in there with the seafoam green. Looking pretty alright so far. Not quite as grand as it was in my mind, but that happens a lot with these customs. You really have to dial back your expectations. Like I said, this is actually my first time doing a camoed vehicle. I thought I would try something daring for the video, so, whether it turns out absolutely immaculate or just okay, you guys will be there to see it. Now it's time to get the brown. This is the brown color I used. It's not actually kind of the right shade. In hindsight, I've noticed that, but it's close enough and it looks good on a camo, so, what the hell. With the third and final color in the camo scheme done, it is time to paint in your details. For this, we're going to be doing the black rims that the Mercedes has, and I'm going to be painting in the black grille for the Jeep, and that back carriage section, I'm also going to be painting in a dark gray just to add more detail and believability to this vehicle. Also going to have to paint in those rear view mirrors as well. Just all the basic details that would actually need a separate color. I'm also going to do the red in those rear lights. For this section, the back carriage, I would suggest using a German gray. Any of these darker grays will work. They look really nice and contrast well with the rest of the vehicle, adding a much more utilitarian look. Now back onto the camper, we're going to be using this cream to do the little, drapes, you call them, inside of the canopy. Keep in mind with a lot of these lighter colors, you're going to need multiple coats. Your first coat is not going to look good. Don't keep trying to clump it on. I need to remind myself that a lot of the times, but definitely remember that, guys. Your first coat is going to look spacey and splotchy. Don't put it on too heavy. Trust the process and just do multiple coats. It'll end up looking perfect, I promise you guys. It may need 2, 3, 4 coats, but it'll end up looking good. So, with everything painted and ready to be sealed, I already went ahead and reassembled the back unit with the canopy and the tent. So this is ready to be reattached. As you can see, I painted in the rope and the shovel back there. I'm actually going to switch the shovel's handle back to brown, but I need to show that, guys. This is the brush I used for more of my detail work. A lot of the times I'll actually use toothpicks. You can see them right there on the table. I'll use them for really, really fine detail. And I just find them very, very effective, not only for scraping paint, but putting paint on. So, with all that done, we are actually finally ready to start sealing everything before the final reassembly. This is going to protect the paintwork, so scratches and all of that are less likely to happen. Keep in mind, if you're going to be playing with these and not just keeping them on a shelf, scratches are an inevitability, but the sealer will help mitigate it and will absolutely make it stronger. Depending on what sealer you use, might even make it weatherproof. So we got the wheel rims painted green to fit with the Mercedes aesthetic. So all this is ready for sealer. We're going to hit it again with the Mr. Super Clear matte. You can find this at Hobby Lobby. That's where I get mine. I would also suggest Tamiya, but you get less in the can and it's just as expensive. Just remember, guys, with this sealer, you just need an even, fine coat. Don't overdo it. Otherwise, it'll look gloopy and too shiny when this is supposed to be a dull coat. So I accidentally overdid it a little bit. I got a little too protective of the color scheme and wanted to really make sure it was getting hit by the sealer. And that thought process can often be catastrophic sometimes. Luckily, it wasn't here. It was just a little on the much side. You guys want to make sure, again, standing far back, and do a thin, even coat, and you'll get the perfect finish. All right, guys, with everything finally sealed and ready to be assembled, this is the fun part of customizing vehicles, in my opinion. Putting everything together and seeing all your hard work accumulated in the final product. Now, step 1, put on the wheels. Step 2, put on the chassis. Step 3, put on the canopy. And guys, well, there it is. The final product. Not quite as grand as I was hoping for, but I'm actually happy with the final product. Again, a lot of you guys were asking about my custom engine vehicles, which are really easy. Just follow the first step and put an engine decal on that. Eventually, I'll show how to make one of those, because I know not a lot of you guys know how to do water slide decals, and that's the big part with the engine vehicles. I'll probably do a custom Jurassic World vehicle tutorial one day, and a Jurassic Park vehicle. I know a lot of people were really hyped about the Jurassic Park veterinary vehicle that I use in Operation Rebirth. So I'll do a tutorial about one of those one of these days. Maybe even a giveaway related to it. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know a lot of you guys have been requesting it, and I wanted to make sure to do a unique type of vehicle for this, because like I said, the engine ones are really simple and the tutorial would have been short and not really giving you guys a good wide kind of range of experience and tips and whatnot. So I chose to do a camoed vehicle to give myself a bit more of a challenge and to give this vehicle just a bit more special feel to it. It's the tutorial video vehicle. It's got to be unique. Now here's the ultimate test. Can it fit a Mattel human? Up here, I picked the extra bulky character to really prove what it can fit, and the bed up here can't really fit a bulky character such as a fully armed worker, but the inside absolutely can. And there it is. We managed to get even this little vehicle to fit a human properly, and makes it wonderfully in the Mattel scale. Anyway, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to give this video a like, share, and let me know what you thought of the tutorial down in the comments. And you know what? I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!